This was one of those weeks where the line between science fiction and reality just completely vanished. We saw software brands get robot bodies, the hardware in our pockets get supercharged for what's coming next, and the whole idea of what an AI can do was fundamentally rewritten. So let's break down what actually happened.
All right, here's what's on the docket. We're going to track 4 massive stories and then tie it all together. First up, the agentic era officially kicks off. Then we'll cover how AI is literally getting a body. After that, we dive into Apple's secret hardware plans, and finally, we'll look at the growing tension in the developer world.
Okay, let's start with the brains of the operation, the software. For years, we basically thought of AI as something you chat with, right? A chatbot. Well, this week, that entire concept got flipped on its head. OpenAI just made a huge move, signaling they're shifting from AI that talks to AI that acts. And this quote from OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman really says it all. He's not just making a prediction here, he is laying out his company's entire strategy for everyone to see. The key phrase is multi-agent. Think less about one AI doing one thing and more about teams of AIs working together to get a job done. So what exactly is agentic AI? Well, it's an AI that does way more than just talk. It can handle complex projects with multiple steps all by itself. And if you need proof this is happening now, OpenAI just hired Peter Steinberger. He's the guy behind OpenClaw, a platform that went viral for being able to, check emails, answer messages, and even write code autonomously.
I mean, the difference here is just night and day. In the past, it was about generating some text for you. The future? It's about completing an entire workflow. An AI agent won't just tell you how to book a flight, no. It's going to check your calendar, book the flight, handle the confirmation email, and maybe even fix a software bug while it's at it, all without you lifting a finger. This is a massive, massive leap.
An autonomous AI brain is powerful, for sure. But what happens when you give that brain a body? Well, this week, some very serious people made a massive bet that the next frontier for AI is to step out of our screens and onto the factory floor.
And when I say a massive bet, I mean staggering. $935 million. That's how much the robotics company Apptronik just raised for its humanoid robot Apollo. This isn't just a little bit of seed money, this is a clear signal from major players that industrial-scale humanoid robots are ready for prime time.
So, where are we going to see these things first? Apptronik has a very deliberate game plan. They're starting where the work is toughest, in manufacturing and logistics. From there, they plan to move into retail stores, then into healthcare settings, and yeah, eventually into our homes. Now here's the part they really want everyone to understand. Apptronik, with backers like Google and Mercedes-Benz, is stressing that these robots are designed to work with people, not to replace them. They call them trusted collaborators, designed to handle the dangerous, back-breaking work so that humans can focus on more complex things.
Okay, so we've got the smart brains and the capable bodies. But all of this amazing tech needs something to run on, and for most of us, that's the little computer in our pocket. Which brings us to our next story.
A leaked roadmap shows Apple has a huge 2026 planned, with things like a new budget MacBook and an entry-level iPhone 17e. But honestly, the real headline for anyone interested in AI is the flagship iPhone 18 Pro Max, which looks set to drop in September of that year. Because it's not the phone itself that's the big deal, it's the engine inside it. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to be the very first device with TSMC's new 2nm chip. Now, what does that mean? It's not just about being faster, it's about being incredibly power efficient. And that is the key to running really complex AI models right there on your phone, without talking to the cloud and without your battery dying in an hour. It's a game changer for private, powerful, on-device AI.
But all this crazy fast innovation in AI, robots, and hardware, it creates friction. And the people feeling that pressure cooker environment the most are the developers who are actually building this future. So there's this tool, LocalStack, that tons of developers rely on. This week, they announced they're killing off their free version. The official line from the company is that, hey, this whole thing has just gotten way too complex and way too big to maintain as a free open source project.
But the developer community, well, they had a very different take. This one comment from Reddit just captures the feeling perfectly. The sense of betrayal was real. It felt like the company built its success on the back of a community and then just pulled the rug out.
So what does this mean in practice for developers? Basically, before next March, you could just grab the free tool, no strings attached. After that, everyone's got to use a new version that requires an account and an authentication token. That might not sound like a big deal, but it breaks a lot of automated systems and forces a pretty big change in how people work.
So let's pull all the way back and look at the big picture. When you put these 4 stories together, the AI agents, the robot bodies, the new hardware, and the developer friction, you start to see a very clear narrative. It's a story about unbelievable acceleration and the very real growing pains that come with it.
So here are the 4 things to take away from this week. 1. The agentic era has started. AI is now about action, not just conversation. 2. AI is getting a body. Huge investments are pushing humanoid robots into the real world. 3. The hardware race is heating up to make sure the AI in your pocket is powerful and private. And 4. All this speed is creating real stress on the people who build it all.
And all of this leaves us with one final and pretty urgent question. The stuff we talked about today isn't some far-off science fiction. These are business plans with roadmaps that point directly to 2026. That is just around the corner. So, when these software brains and these robot bodies finally converge, what does our world actually look like in 2027?